were affection.
Hello, I'm Dalton, and this is my co-person Desiree.
Hello.
Today on Off the Record, we are on the record with Andy Burns, indie musician from Australia. Came to Valdosta last night for a show at the DIY House. Andy, say hello.
Hi there, what are you doing?
Alrighty. So, what have you been up to lately, Andy?
Well, the last year has just been touring, I guess, sort of intermittently. Sort of ping-ponging between the US and Europe and doing a strange sort of variety of shows. So there was like stuff like last night at DIY houses, and then there's also been these weird like village gigs where I like travel out into the outskirts of a city and play parts of Europe and stuff. So I've been doing that for about a year.
Huh. Yeah, I've always... There's so many like small like villages like that in Europe. You play like pubs or something out there? Like what
they range from like pubs to there was one that was like a dining hall, like serving dinner and stuff. And they weren't as into it because they were just trying to have their meals while I was playing.
That seems quite different from Valdosta.
Slightly, yeah. No, the reception here. And I guess on the whole, like American shows people tend to be a lot friendlier and like kind of into it. Europeans are a bit more cold, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hurl bottles and
we're known for Southern hospitality.
Yeah, it's the Southern hospitality.
Yeah. We're very well known.
That's
for
what
that.
it must be. Yeah, I was trying to put my finger on it, but
yeah, it's what we have going for us at this point.
That or
yeah, no, it's just that. That's all we have here is Southern hospitality and like fried chicken.
Okay.
So
well, they're both great things.
Yeah. But that's what we have. Like if you wanted anything else, we apologize.
I don't. I mean, that's all I need.
Cholesterol.
And sweet tea. Yeah.
Cholesterol and comfort.
Yeah, cholesterol and comfort. That's right.
Was this your? That could be our slogan, honestly.
Cholesterol and comfort food.
Yeah, just put that on the whole state of Georgia. Was this your first time in Valdosta?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of Valdosta? You can lie if you need to.
Everyone says that, and then they follow up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
People are really lovely. I mean, we've played... I've been touring with some buddies, and we've sort of been zigzagging down the East Coast, and I guess you guys have like your stereotypes about certain cities and states, and some of them I feel are pretty accurate, like the cold New York or a bit brash, etc. Whereas here, I think people are very, I guess like, just on a surface level at least, like quite outgoing and they'll come up and chat to you, just super friendly. It's just so nice. Is my impression. I haven't had the chicken yet, so
you should give it a go before you leave.
I had Hattie B's in Atlanta. No, that was in somewhere in the south.
Just somewhere in Georgia.
Yeah.
What was that?
Hattie B's.
Have you ever had that?
I feel like I've heard of it, but we barely count Atlanta as the South at this point because they're really, I mean, it's...
What is it then?
It's still the South, but you have so many people going there from other states and things,
okay.
and so...
It's like a melting pot.
Yeah, so like here, no one really came here on purpose. Like, like you were either born here or like I'm from an even smaller town than this one.
Okay,
so this was like a step up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I came from a town with one Walmart and now I have 2 Walmarts.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 Walmarts.
Walmart, chicken, and comfort.
Yeah, that's how we judge things is by number of Walmarts.
Oh, yeah?
The Walmart metric
Yeah, it's the mathematics.
Walmart
as well.
and Waffle House.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Walmart's and
Waffle
Waffle
Apparently, you guys
House.
have heaps of Waffle Houses.
Yeah, it's like 5.
Were you
years
saying that
or
last
something.
night? Someone was saying that. No.
Well, yeah. You were asking like, is there
Yeah.
any diners in town? And like,
you got like
Waffle
20
House.
Waffle Houses. Yeah.
When I used to interview bands from other states, that's where I would take them.
Okay.
I'd be like, after their show, I'd be like, hey, do you
Okay.
want to go to the Waffle House? And they'd be like, yeah, I've never been to one. I'm like, oh my God, you are in for a treat.
Is that also a southern thing? Or?
Waffle House?
Yeah.
I don't know where they stop. Like, I don't know where the
it's
cutoff for
mostly
the
in the
Waffle
south.
House
Okay.
is.
I think it goes up. It might be as far as north as like Virginia, but I think it's mostly around us.
Yeah.
Dang.
But you also don't actually go there for breakfast. You go there late at night.
Okay.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning is
Oh,
prime
yeah.
Waffle House time.
I see.
Yeah,
Because
like you're not
nothing else
getting
is
up at
open.
7 a.m.
So,
to go do it. Like, yeah.
In Perth, we have in Perth, West Australia, where I'm from, we have the only thing that's open past like 10 p.m. is McDonald's, or
Yeah.
as we call it, the Golden Arches. So there's like a pilgrimage every night, a long like queue of cars waiting to get their McChickens.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's a bit sad.
Oh.
I mean, it's our McDonald's also has a similar just.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just giant line of.
Yeah, but we have like 16 McDonald's, so really you can just take your pick.
Okay. Yeah, we have one. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, we.
one that's open. We have a few, but they're closed. So everyone just goes to one. It's a bit desperate.
Yeah, what's the biggest, like. I mean, I know that you're very familiar, obviously, with the States at this point, doing touring and stuff, but what do you really miss when you're in the States?
Oh, from Australia. I guess not much.
Yeah, okay,
Really?
alright.
I mentioned, so I said you're from Australia,
Yeah.
but you recorded both your albums in your apartment in Tokyo, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, and you recorded both those albums in 2018, right?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
That's crazy. So is there anything you miss about like Japan? And
Yeah,
that sort
I
of?
miss Japan a lot more than
Really?
Australia, which is a bit mean, but.
I miss Japan. I've never gone there.
Oh, yeah?
I mean,
Oh, you
honestly,
should
that's
go.
yeah.
You should go to Tokyo. It's it's the best. It kind of lives up to its reputation, I think. But yeah, I was there for 5 years and sort of working for probably 4 of those 5 years, I'd say. And you become sort of very entrenched in it. Like, for example, the companies you work at, if you work for a domestic company,
Yeah.
you're treated as this family member, and so you become very like, attached to it, and you want to really. I've never experienced this before, but you really want to put all your effort into like serving this company, and all your colleagues feel the same, and it creates this very odd environment, this sort of mutual pact between people. So I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
That side of it. It's like camaraderie. It's
Huh.
very bizarre.
That's just part of like the culture thing.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
So I guess work takes precedence above basically anything else there. Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Now, do you speak Japanese, or are you just over there like winging it?
No, I speak. Yeah.
Oh,
I can
well,
order
that's really
chicken. I
cool.
can order bit. No, I can.
Yeah, I really hoped you were just winging it, like you were there for 5 years and you never learned
Well,
anything.
you
You were just
You'd be surprised. Not to sound mean, but there are a lot of expats there that do that.
yeah,
Either they get, more understandably, I guess they'll get assigned by by let's say a US company,
yeah,
and they'll go over and have this really ritzy lifestyle. Everything's paid for them. So I guess in that regard, you don't really need to learn the language because you're in your own little expat bubble. But then you have people that go over to like try and start a new life, or whatever, and they they just like give up
yeah.
within the first month or something.
I really blame the anime.
The anime?
Yeah, I blame the anime. Like, that's why they see it and they're like, you know what? I should just go to Japan.
Yeah.
The anime.
And then,
I blame
I mean,
the
it's
anime.
exactly like the anime itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Not just
It's,
anime. The anime.
The anime.
Yeah. Everyone's animated. It's very bizarre.
Yeah. Gosh, wouldn't that be? We would have no idea. So
Yeah.
we've never gone to Japan. So for all I know,
yeah.
it could be just
It is.
an anime. Like, you guys are whipping out swords at lunch to like fight for honor.
That's stock standard.
Giant
yeah.
robots.
Yeah.
Giant
Yeah.
robots.
Yeah.
There is the robot museum. Oh, what's it called? There's like a robot fighting show. And it's the most touristy thing probably in the city.
Gundam is. I know there's a big Gundam over there.
There is, yeah. Actually, it's near that. So there's that sort of like landmark, and then if you walk a little bit, there's an area called Kabukicho, and they have these robot battle shows where you pay some ridiculous amount of money, like way too much, like $150 or something. It comes with this terrible meal, like it's sort of infamously bad, and you sit there in this strange, I guess, booth, and just watch these giant robots battle, and there's like bikini clad women and men wearing strange clothes on the robots, like riding them.
Huh.
It's kind of like jousting.
Yeah.
But this really botched version of jousting. So everyone that goes there always goes and sees it, and I try and warn them not to because it's hideous.
No,
it's not worth it.
It sounds like something I still want to do, no matter what.
Oh, really? You're gonna go?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm also a big Godzilla fan, so I feel like I need to go to Tokyo solely for Godzilla reasons. Like,
yeah. No, well, there's one of those as well.
I like to believe Godzilla lives there. Like he's just chilling in your water. He's signing autographs.
He's frozen in like statue form.
He's just hanging out.
He's just hanging.
What about the rest of that, like Mothra? And
Mothra, all the kaiju. You know, Rodan. Hedorah.
You're like a connoisseur.
I am. Yeah,
wow.
No, I'm a huge nerd.
Wow.
I actually do, watch the anime and stuff. So really, I'm.
There you go.
I'm the problem for Japan.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah. No, I'm problematic. Same way, Pokémon comes out Friday. I've been waiting on that since.
Sorry, Pokemon?
Yeah. Pokemon.
As in
video game. Yeah, Pikachu.
You've never heard of Pokemon?
No. What is Pikachu?
Yeah.
I'm a fiend for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, you're saying it's coming out?
There's a new game coming out Friday for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
Oh dang.
Yeah, look at there.
Oh no.
This is my good deed for the day.
An addiction in the making.
Yeah. Well, see, I've always wanted to go to a Pokemon Center, and you guys have those in Japan as well.
Yeah.
It's not fair, honestly. Like, I like to think that you have the Pikachu at home waiting for you.
He's there.
Yeah, like he's just doing his housework.
He feels abandoned at the moment. I've been out of town for a year, and
yeah,
he's just sitting in my room.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Not to dwell on Pokemon too much, but how does it? Is it an RPG?
Yeah, it's the same type of mechanics
like
as all the other. Yeah, like you can create your own character, and then you get to walk around. I have the little Pokeball controller for my Switch, so I actually get to throw a Pokeball.
You're such a nerd. Wow.
I am a huge nerd. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm glad we got to do this.
No, this is great. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, you should be. I don't even know if you want to Switch, but you need to go buy a
Switch.
Switch.
I'm going to buy a Switch.
Yeah, buy it. It's called Pokemon Sword and Shield. You can pick either Sword or Shield.
And it's Friday.
Yeah, this Friday. I've been counting down the days since...
Sword and Shield is in red and blue, gold and silver, all that.
Yeah. I've played all of them since 1998. Again, huge nerd. It's a life problem.
What's your favourite Pokemon game?
My favorite game?
Oh yeah, out of red, blue, gold, silver.
So I really loved... Blue was my first game, but I really loved the silver and gold generation.
Yeah, silver was
liked
fantastic.
Those. Yeah, those were good.
What did you guys pick when you got the first three?
Bulbasaur is my...
Yeah, I liked Bulbasaur.
Squirtle Squad.
Oh, yeah. No, Bulbasaur is my go-to.
I went Bulbasaur as well.
My first game, I'm a bit younger than Desiree, so my first game was Gold. And,
Yeah, Gold is also good.
Gold. Even then I got Totodile, though. So.
Yeah.
I
like Chikorita and Cyndaquil. They were all good.
What was there, Crocodile? Or was that...
Totodile, Cyndaquil, and Chikorita.
I went Totodile on that one.
Yeah.
Had a good look.
I was a kid, so just whatever was cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked plants, and so usually I was like, Bulbasaur has a bulb on its back, and then Chikorita has a little leaf on its head.
Doesn't Chikorita kind of suck?
Yeah. No, it does. I agree. Cyndaquil was pretty good,
wussy sort of leaf Pokemon.
Yeah. I would usually then pick Cyndaquil. I'd be like, all right, I made a mistake. I'm going to go backwards and get the fire one.
Yeah.
We got so off topic here. So when you're not piloting giant robots, catching Pokemon, etc., do you have a day job?
Yeah.
So what exactly do you do?
I worked... So when I first got there, I worked at a label, a jazz label. And this is... So I'd just come out of college. I was in my early 20s. And my job was to sell jazz. So I went around with a briefcase and would sell physical copies of jazz, like jazz CDs. And that's how I learned
You just
Japanese.
went door to door doing this?
Not
or
door to door, but like shop to shop.
Oh, okay. So you're selling to other like record shops or like?
Yeah, record shops. Okay. Like we had like some obscene number. I think it was like 1,000 or so like affiliate shops, and I would
in Tokyo?
travel. No, across Japan.
All in Japan. Wow.
It was actually kind of cool job. I was really into learning Japanese at the time, and it was this great way to properly learn it because you were just doing direct sales in it, trying to convince people to buy a shoddy product.
Of jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it sounds like a weird pyramid scheme, but it was an actual...
So you're just selling like vinyl or like...
No, CDs.
CDs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd go to shops and open up my briefcase and I'd have like a catalogue of stuff. And they'd been stocking our stuff for 10, 15 years beforehand. So it was just a matter of trying to convince them to buy our new releases and stuff.
So are we talking like jazz greats or is it just sort of like just...
There's a lot of jazz covers.
Oh, okay.
So what would often happen when basically the music would be playing in cafes. It was sort of like music, I guess. Jazz music. So you would go into a cafe and have lunch or whatever, and it would often just be playing in the background. It's like a soul bed.
Huh. Do you even like jazz, or were you just doing this?
No. That's a good question. I didn't really like jazz, but the options at the time for work were limited.
Okay.
Very limited. So it was either that or teach rudimentary English and go insane. So I decided to work on the language. It was mainly just for learning it. And so I did that for a year, and then I got somehow shifted into like working in streaming, like video streaming, and did a couple of jobs for some American companies and stuff. I had a very stressful job doing like live news broadcast as well. Ooh. And it was just the worst job. Like I'd be alone in this room. You know those like control rooms where there's all the TVs and stuff? So it would just be me in there doing all this stuff, and then like a light would go off, start flashing, and chaos would ensue.
No, the news sucks, man. Yeah. You know, the news is just terrible.
Well, it's like, yeah, no, it's an awful place. Where are we? It's got the hillish.
Just kidding, Jim. We love our job.
It's this is sort of hillish vibe to this. No, well, the news place I was working for, the company is BBC, and they really like to emphasize how negative things are.
Yes.
So there was never anything positive about the daily news. And if there was something positive, it would be about someone overcoming cancer or something, but still being on the brink of death. So it was like, this happened, but they might still die. So it was always... And it got really depressing. I think if it had been another outlet, like another news outlet, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But for some reason, they just like to ham on... Yeah. I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but...
No, we like to bring good news.
That's nice.
We do what we can.
That's part of the comfort aspect of the South.
Yeah, we try to be heartwarming,
Do you? I
yeah,
can't
like,
tell.
Here's some puppies.
Yeah. We actually just had goats over.
Yeah. I did a story on little baby goats.
Cute.
So, I mean, just
that's
holding
sweet.
Little goats.
Are you in the picture holding them? Or?
Yeah. No, there are pictures of me holding it. Anytime I do anything in this town, I make sure I'm actually involved. Because, I'm poor, so I have to get my fun where I can. So I'm just like, here, let me hold this goat. Here, let me ride this roller coaster. Here, let me...
With the goat.
Yeah, with the goat. Because we do have the theme park here, so, we like to...
take the goats on the...
Yeah, take goats to roller coasters. But so while you're touring, is this is all you're doing? Like, do you have any kind of... Are you remotely working on anything, or are you just doing this?
Yeah.
So how's that going? Like...
It really varies day to day.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun, but it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Sans goat. It's... Like, for example, yesterday was great. The day before was rubbish, and it just sort of fluctuates. Especially, I think, this time I'm doing it with some buddies, so it's a little better. It's a lot less lonely, but at the same time, it's also grating at times, because you're all in a van together, squashed.
Right.
It's 0 degrees Celsius outside.
Where is it that cold right now?
We were in like Chicago and stuff.
Oh my gosh! And was that with your glow or?
Yeah, that's with
okay. So you've been touring with your glow.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all been all over then.
We've been all down the East Coast basically.
Okay.
So where are you going next?
We got one more show in St. Petersburg in Florida, and then we're done.
Ah.
And I can lie down and slowly dissolve.
It's been kind of you guys are kind of getting sick of each other now. Or is it like...
Sorry, boys.
Or what's it like touring with though? I mean, you were saying that it's kind of...
They're all really different guys. So there's like a clash of personalities there. I'm the pawpaw of the dad of the group, because I'm in my late 20s.
The sugar daddy.
The sugar daddy,
yeah.
Not quite. I don't fund anything. They're all like 20, 21. They're super young. And... full of energy and loud.
Yeah.
So they there's some tales from the van. The other day someone got slapped in the face. Like a serious slapping.
Huh.
Oh no.
And a fight almost broke out inside the van while we're driving.
Oosh.
And I was just sitting in the back like, boys.
I think that's what I appreciate, because you can't
Minister.
be like, go to the other side of the van.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
Which is its own kind of hell.
I like to imagine you sitting there like, I'm going to pull this van over if you guys don't stop.
Well, I'm
like,
not driving. I wish.
Yeah.
See, I would do that.
Yeah.
But the driver was the one that slapped the person.
So, cool.
That's a miracle we're all still alive.
Yeah, that's, and I think it's funny that in the music scene, and so many other scenes as well, when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you are elderly.
Yeah,
like,
you are.
by certain standards.
Yeah,
like, these other people are really spry, and you're just like, God, my back hurts. Like...
Thank you. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, I always joke, Dalton's 22 and I'm 30.
Okay,
and so anytime we're talking about music, just with that small-ish age gap, it's a big gap in music and things too. So like what I was doing in high school is vastly different from what Dalton was doing in high school.
Gotcha.
Where,
Okay.
like these, I was going to Warped Tour and things like that, and I don't know what you were doing. Yeah. I don't know.
He was a fetus at the time.
Yeah. He was but a child.
I was a fetus until I was 18. That's actually what happened.
He was
the boy fetus.
Yeah.
It's like a circus feature.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about the music that you have out right now that like we can go listen to you.
Yeah, well, it's on everything, Bandcamp, Spotify and whatnot. So I put out 2 albums last year on a tape label called Z Tapes, and I'm working with this French label called Nice Guys. They're like those YouTube channels where they have like lo-fi hip hop beats and jangle pop
beats
playlists.
To study and chill.
Yeah, they're like one of the big ones now. Like they've kind of become this burgeoning thing, and they're also a label. They do vinyl and stuff. So I'm working with both those, and I'm currently finishing off a third album I'm doing, which I'm really excited about. I'm gonna try and shop it around a bit once it's done. I get a few leads who might be intrigued. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little.
Yeah. Well, probably the best one is. Do you know Danger Mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he has a label, 30th Century Records, and puts out some cool stuff like Granddaddy, who are like one of my favorite bands. Anyway, like
you kind of remind me of them. Actually.
Oh really? Yeah, I love Jason Lytle. He's my hero. But yeah, so he he's been kind of into my newer stuff and has been sort of putting it on his playlists and Twitter and stuff. So that's my main lead at the moment. I'm just gonna try.
Danger Mouse has been putting your music on his
on Spotify and stuff.
Oh, that's super cool.
So I'm gonna try and push it his way.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Absolutely.
That'd be really cool. That'd be a dream. But there's just so many great labels at the moment. So
yeah,
hopefully I can land something. If not, I'll do it like I've been doing, and then just try and tour behind it again. Slowly chipping away at my soul.
You know,
that's how it works.
You seem to be fairly cheerful though.
Yeah.
Taking it a day at a time. That's right. Pass the coffee.
To the coffee, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I just finished my coffee before I came in, but I went to Starbucks, so I'm a sellout. I'm sorry.
We don't officially sponsor Red Owl here.
There's so many coffee shops.
You just had to insert that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even mentioned before. It was just called.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention it.
Dalton goes to Red Owl a lot.
Red Owl's good.
Yeah, no, it is good. I'm not gonna lie, but
Why Starbucks?
I was just near a Starbucks.
Okay.
It's whatever I'm close to.
Sure,
Eliano's is also good.
We're
just gonna give a shout out to every coffee shop in town. All of them.
You can pretend to be unbiased all you want.
If you need coffee, there's 20 places here in town. We don't have much. We have churches, banks, coffee shops.
Waffles. The churches are another thing
Fast
I'm kind
food.
of amazed by.
That's something that I feel like we're used to, but probably not.
You guys have the best, what do you call them? Like the signs out of the front of churches where they'll have sometimes motivational...
Oh, sometimes just funny little kitschy things.
Yeah.
Church signs.
We just say church signs.
Is that like a church signs? Yeah. They're so good. My favourite one I saw the other day was... This was in, the swamps. I can't remember where it was, but it was just this lone church. And we're driving past at night time, and there's just this big glowing sign that says... If you're not walking with Jesus, you're running with Satan. Really struck a chord.
That's a fun mental image, skipping down the beach with Satan.
I mean,
running
with Satan sounds kind of more enjoyable than a casual stroll with Jesus.
That's a lyric right there.
Yeah,
it is.
I
don't mind pinching that.
Yeah, no, you could probably just write down every church sign you see and put it together.
As a song?
Yeah. It'd probably work.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Glad
I could help.
That's a viral hit.
Just church
and
signs.
Would you tell people after you'd released it that it was a sort of a mesh of different church signs?
Oh, I think they'll know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they'll know.
Probably.
Yeah,
lots of Jesus, lots of Satan.
If you had just walked in here and said, if you're not walking with Jesus, you're running with Satan, I would say, you know what church sign did you read that on? I would have known immediately.
Well... Yeah, you've got pickup bars pickup lines at bars and stuff. And I think that's going to be a new one.
That's a good idea. I'm just imagining the T-shirts with Satan crossing a finish line, holding your hand, just sprinting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
just on fire. The possibilities.
Live fast, die young.
Yeah, it's. These are all very good ideas.
Live fast, die young. But you're having a blast.
And then in brackets with Satan.
Yeah. A lot of good options here.
Do churches sell shirts? They don't, do they?
No, but they should.
They really should.
My church did when I was.
Did
so
they?
I'm from Florida, and
isn't that
you questionable? It is.
Where
it's
does the money
church
go?
It goes back to the church, but I don't know.
Didn't Jesus destroy or sort of defame a church where they were selling his goods?
I don't know if it was a church. I'm not super versed in the Bible, but I think he well, maybe he did.
He got really angry because he saw people selling sort of paraphernalia.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got angry fairly often. I mean,
I don't know if
so
he destroyed the church.
It's hard to remember exactly.
Defaced many churches.
He's just flipping tables, turning people into salt. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Oh, I haven't actually heard that one, but that's a
where
tale for another time. He turned them into salt?
Yeah, the person that... Look. It's been a minute.
This is a religious podcast.
Yeah, no, we got to get off this because someone's going to call and be like, here's the actual...
Satan.
Yeah.
And chicken.
The church with that sign is going to be... They're gonna listen to that.
They're gonna.
Yeah, they're
listening right now.
Yeah. They know.
They know we're running with Satan.
Yeah. Gosh.
That could be the name for your podcast.
Yeah, Running with Satan.
Yeah.
That's our next podcast.
If you have like a metal or a death metal podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are into that, but...
I feel like, do we know any death metal bands?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
there's
Valdosta bands that are like that, like Machinists, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe they're not death metal, but
it's hard to put labels on people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're either Satan or Jesus, really.
Yeah. That's
walking or running.
That's also what we do here in the South. We label you either Satan or Jesus. We have one of those little label makers that we got. We just stick it on people.
On the forehead, like that.
Yeah, Jesus.
What's the scene in Valdosta? Like, musically? Is there...
So, part of what we're trying to do with this podcast is sort of talk to people in the scene, but so far we've only talked to... So we've talked to a band from Tallahassee, and now we're talking to you from Tokyo, so it's like Tallahassee to Tokyo.
Yeah, we're catching more people who are traveling through Valdosta, so...
There is a good bit
there are people who have started bands and whatnot here in Valdosta. The biggest issue is a lot of them don't have longevity. Like, you know, it's a very short-lived sort of project.
Sure.
But, you know, we do have a lot of... I'd say you have a lot more metal than... Well, back in my day when I was going to shows, you were seeing a lot more metal and whatnot. And honestly, when I interviewed a lot of those bands, they were like, it's because we didn't know how to play instruments. And so metal, you were just very loud. And I was like, that's probably fair. Yeah, like that's...
I thought it took like a lot of skill to be...
I think later on, yes. But starting out, they're just like, let's make loud racket and see what sounds good together.
Sludge, punk metal. Just,
yeah, like...
Wow.
Shoegaze
metal.
Yeah. I'm just, you know...
That sounds
that's a bad combo.
It is, yeah. I just really love the term shoegaze. Like, it's...
It is... Well, I like the etymology of it. Like, it literally...
You're looking at
it.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. No,
apparently, a lot of those, like, just gone on a little tangent for the first time, but a lot of those bands, the shoegaze bands, when they came out in the 90s, apparently they used to cop so much flack from like the NME and all those music journals. So there's a story about I think her name's Rachel Goswell from Slowdive. She was playing a show and their popularity was sort of waning. They'd put out their second album, Suvlaki or whatever it's called. And anyway, they did a show and there was like hardly anyone in attendance, and then some journalist came up afterwards just to rub some salt into the wound. It was like, you guys are going to be working like in a grocery store for the rest of your lives. It's just horrible stuff like that. Anyway, little shoegaze happy anecdote there, but
fun.
Huh.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah, and we in Valdosta we do have a mix. You would think we would have like more country. Probably than we do. And we have some. We have country musicians, and then you have some like crossover, like country rock stuff. You do have gospel, you do Christian. You have some dudes just out there with acoustic guitars, just doing their thing. I mean, so there are definitely talented people here, and then we also have a recording studio here. So we've had
there's a couple of decent studios.
We've had From First to Last come through here, Mayday Parade.
Against Me was recorded here. One of the guys that runs the studio here, he didn't record it here, but he actually worked with the Black Keys on Brothers. So right.
Huge.
Right, So
we get around is what we're trying to say. You know?
You do,
we do what we can.
So there is a little bit, you know, for Valdosta, it's not bad.
But
decent something here.
But we've been catching so many people who are touring through here to remind people in Valdosta, like, hey, there are people who stop here to play music. And you could just go listen to them. Because we meet a lot of people who are like, there's nothing to do. And we're like, well, you know, there are things to do. You just have to leave your house.
Valdosta is what you make it.
Yeah, that was...
Valdosta is what you make it.
Yeah, our coworker Sarah designed t-shirts that say Valdosta is what you make it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nifty shirt.
It is a nifty shirt.
Sell it to the church.
We should sell it to the churches. We'll just go door to door to churches and sell our t-shirts. But yeah,
I want to see that on the church sign.
Valdosta Tuesday.
Run away with
no relevance to Jesus.
Circling back to that though, how did you land in Valdosta? Like, what got you?
I stumbled
here?
upon it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, hitchhiking and the person dropped.
Yeah. Just the guy with one eye and a semi truck left you here.
He let me out. I begged for my life, and he dropped
Got
off
it.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we playing? It's become a blur. We played in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
And then did a long 9-hour drive down here, and the trajectory for this tour has been very weird. There was one day where we did a 14-hour drive to Ohio.
Yeah, that's bad.
There's a lot
which is
of
the
problematic
definition of
things with
hell.
that sentence. Yeah, like I don't. That's a long time just to go to Ohio. Yeah.
I won't say the name of where it was in Ohio, but it wasn't Cleveland.
It wasn't Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Not Cleveland. Ohio.
Honestly, yeah. If it's not Cleveland, then we
hours.
don't know where you were, because Ohio, we have no idea. Other than Hawthorne Heights having Ohio is for lovers, that's the extent of my knowledge of Ohio.
Yeah. It's an interesting place. Lots of great bands from Cleveland, like Devo and stuff. But yeah, this wasn't. Yeah, we did a long drive there, and it was freezing cold.
That sort of reminds me. So, your music kind of reminds me of sort of like that 80s synth pop, like new agey stuff. Is that like some of your influences?
Yeah, I love that stuff. Like I love Devo. And then bands that kind of rehash, or not rehash, but we're trying to do similar stuff in the 90s.
Like who?
Well, yeah, Granddaddy would definitely be one. I've been getting into, do you know Per Ubu?
Who?
I can't pronounce the name.
I'm not sure.
They're great. Yeah, just lots of synthy stuff. Alex Cameron. Have you heard of Alex Cameron?
Yeah.
I really like him. He's my favourite. I saw him live the other night. It was good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was having a really rough day, and he played a show in Chicago and at Talia Hall, and just to sort of de-stress, I went along and just was dancing at the back. It wasn't particularly full, the show, so I just had all this room to dance and was just eating my crisps and listening to him. It was great. It's the highlight of this tour.
No. Here we call them chips, you know.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fun. We really appreciate your accent. I don't know how you felt about having to listen to us.
Your guys' accent's great. I'm not just saying that. It's something else.
Yeah, I feel like we sound...
It's lovely.
Odd.
It's so much better than...
I don't have an accent, but you know, I hear it sometimes. Yeah, I know I do. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
You're also stronger, though.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm from Douglas, Georgia. It is tiny.
You got the South twang.
Yeah, you should hear me whenever I have to say a word with like a hard I, or if I'm angry or something. It's just like...
Can you say the word higher?
Oh, well, see, now I'll say it like more properly. But if you catch me off guard, I'm just going to say things...
But also the way you pronounce just then you went
R, yeah. There's a lot of... but yeah, whenever...
Like your vowels are very enunciated.
Yeah, it's
kind of Australian in that sense.
It's very odd because I try so hard to not sound too Southern, but again, I am, first off, and then second, when I'm angry, I have no control over it whatsoever, so I'm just yelling in like deep Southern, like Gone with the Wind, Atlanta's burning down
and there's
type
like
of
subtitles at the bottom.
Yeah, like just going across there. I'm never yelling at people that...
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't yell at you for...
Absolutely comes out for me.
Yeah. No, it's something that...
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes sense.
It's growing up in this, right?
Yeah. Well,
you revert back to your natural.
As a journalist too, they try and tell you to keep it minimal. Like in college, they're like, don't sound too Southern.
Do they give you like a reference accent, or is it just like a standard?
Just like American... try and not string everything together.
My professor said, go join a church choir to fix your...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was his advice. He wasn't like, you have to do this, but like he said...
He was walking with Jesus.
Yeah, it's like free vocal lessons, basically. Walking with Jesus, running with the devil.
Yeah, I just remember they were like, no one's going to take you seriously if you sound too Southern. But most people find it just, they're like, oh, it's kind of cute. I like it. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right, then I'm not dealing with it.
Wow.
Plus, I'm not like on camera or anything. So.
Okay. Yeah, well then it doesn't...
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. No,
how bizarre.
I usually just write.
Yeah, okay.
But whatever. All right, what else we got?
Well, I do want to just... I was kind of curious. So, recording these albums in like Tokyo and that sort of thing. How did like that being surrounded by Japanese culture, Eastern culture, sort of influence your sound?
Well, I guess as a city, it's very conducive to recording.
Mm-hmm.
They really look in the way that they really look after and I guess that sounds really pretentious. Preserve their like musical gear, so you can find a lot of great synths.
This is that pretentious,
yeah. Really? From the 70s and 80s.
That sounds cool. Okay, cool.
In secondhand shops, there's a lot of secondhand gear culture there. So, for example, like I got a Korg, like classic electric piano from I think like the late 80s, or 91 or something, and I got it for $80.
Wow.
Which was just I don't think the guy quite understood how expensive it would have been. Like, he could have sold it for a lot more than that. In any case, I was able to snag that and some old Yamaha synths and whatnot. So that certainly helped. Whereas if I was doing it in Australia, it would cost me, 5 times more or whatever to do that. So I was able to set up when I had an apartment, I would just sort of lug in all this gear and just have it lying around. And you can, because it's strangely quiet in parts of Tokyo, you just have a lot of time to work on it, I guess.
Yeah. And you said you worked at, I don't know if you said it while we were talking about it before. I remember you mentioning that you worked at Google.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
And so you were working with like the recording equipment and that sort of thing?
Yeah, they had, the office was cool. They'd have, you'd go up to one floor and there would just be this, it'd be like a lunch hall or whatever, and then there'd be like a piano just plonked in the corner for people to like play.
Yeah.
And so I ended up just sort of living there and bringing, like, I had a suitcase and I would, on the weekends, I'd just hang out in the building and it'd be me and one security guard walking around, and I would just hook up my laptop to like a interface and plug in this keyboard and just play it.
So you were living in the office?
Yeah. I'm making a documentary about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I filmed it. I might get sued. I will get sued.
Oh.
It's okay.
Hopefully not.
This can be a good story, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I've got like 20 minutes of like edited footage. And I'm gonna sort of intersperse it with tour footage, like me doing shows and stuff. And then,
that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Check out your documentary when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's really depressing.
Is it? Oh, I'm
it's
sorry about
fine.
that.
It's
It's super depressing. It's like me living in this capsule and eating breakfast and looking really depressed in a building.
I mean, we live here in Valdosta, Georgia,
which is the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. We understand.
Minus the capsule.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
we don't have cool stories about working at Google and living in Tokyo. So honestly,
the capsule is just a metaphor, really,
Yeah,
for a coffin.
Yeah.
But so would you go out and like get those synthesizers and bring them back to your work?
No. So at work, they just had heaps lying around. They had a music room. They had all this stupid stuff that they would spend money on when they should have spent money on other stuff, which is something I allude to in the documentary. But like for example, someone had a heart attack there. This is really cool, and no one could find the AED. It wasn't anywhere, but then on the same floor you have like this PlayStation room, and, like this music studio, and there's someone dying. Like,
yeah, we can't save your life, but we have this PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So it was very ridiculous.
Yeah.
wore thin after a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guy lived or died. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're gonna just say he lived
yes.
for the sake of
He got
this.
whisked away by the ambulance. So.
Yeah, we'll say that he survived. Just
he's
to
not
make
walking with
us-
Jesus yet.
Yeah, to make us or running with Satan. We really don't know his life.
Sorry, it's not gonna get old.
No,
I want it on my tombstone, but
yeah, no, you should have it on there. It should actually just say either walking with Jesus or running with Satan.
or just
yeah.
now he's running with Satan.
Now he's running with Satan.
That's curious.
Yeah, but
So another thing, just I know that we're sort of pushing our time a little bit, but I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about. You seem like you've been to literally every continent. What continent haven't you been to?
I mean, countries I haven't been to.
Well, right, but you've been to like Africa.
Yeah. Australia, US. Oh, I haven't been to South America.
Okay, or Antarctica.
Or Antarctica.
Okay.
I'd like to go to Antarctica.
I was gonna say that would be a fun time.
That would be not isolating at all.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool place for like a music video.
If you want to be more depressed,
Go to
it's Antarctica.
Valdosta.
Yeah, and Valdosta. We're very similar again in that aspect. We're a little warmer, probably.
When I was like 21, I had this fantasy about going and living in Antarctica because you can do not internships but sort of paid work.
Yeah.
There, if you wanted to.
Huh.
Food for thought.
Huh.
Yeah.
If it ever gets too hot here, you can.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean,
It's always
pack up
too
shit.
hot here, yeah. It's now cold and we can't
We're all
adjust
too
because
cold.
our
You
bodies
guys-
aren't used to this.
Last night in the house,
Yeah.
the owners of the house were sort of struggling with. They were
Yeah.
warning us about.
We've
How cold?
grown accustomed to 80 degrees, and so if
Sure.
you get down to 30, we don't know what to do.
Is that a new thing?
Oh, absolutely not. I think the South has
really?
always been blazing hot, but it's gotten a little hotter.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
so
no,
like we got well into the 100 degrees during our
Okay,
summer,
I'm
and so
talking
that was way
Celsius.
too hot, and now, you know.
Now it's way too cold.
Yeah. Just for our specific body types. You know, people up in the north are just like, you guys are silly, and we're like, well, you know. If you've
Chicago
lived down
and
here your
stuff.
whole life, though, you're
Yeah.
just...
Well, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
It's the same in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Australia would be nice, warm, just weird, giant, scary animals, apparently. That's
Oh,
all I
yeah.
see on the
That's
internet
the
is, like,
classic
giant...
That's our stereotype, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Do you have giant, scary
We
animals?
have the one we like to lie about to people when they visit is drop bears, which are a fictional bear that drop out of a tree and attack you. We like to
Drop.
We
Just
like to-
drop bears.
we like to con tourists
suplex
into thinking
bears.
they're
Yeah,
real.
drop bears.
I don't even know what a drop bear is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But it's like a running joke.
I just imagine a grizzly bear literally falling on
just
top of
hangs
someone.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just...
Those are terrifying.
Yeah.
When you grow up as a kid, you learn to like check under tables and chairs for spiders and stuff. It becomes sort of habit.
Huh.
This room might be infested with them.
It probably is, honestly. We're not going to lie to you.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks are the scariest. We have lots of sharks.
Yeah, but those are easy to avoid, you know.
Well, yeah, you just don't get in the ocean.
Yeah, like don't go into their living room and they'll leave you alone. Like,
that's the argument. But
Yeah.
a lot of people still go in there.
yeah.
I mean, the beaches are really nice. So
Yeah.
there was one moron who got attacked by a shark, came out completely unscathed. Everyone was like, "Oh, thank God, man, you're still alive." And he looks at his friends. "I'm going back in." I'm like, "No!" And he runs back into it. This is 2 years ago.
Huh.
Yeah, a real idiot. He's now running with Satan.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's alive.
Okay.
He somehow survived twice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just
so that
metaphorically.
some people have that mentality where
Yeah.
they want to challenge the sharks.
I like to think the shark will always win.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 9 times out of 10, the shark's gonna win. Yeah. I don't know what time you had to be done by. I'm sorry, we've just been one.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
Yeah. Shoot. I mean, are you guys?
Do you need to go soon or?
No. I'm good. I'm here for the rest of today. I just gotta write, so we're fine though. I can,
this might just be a slightly longer episode.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah,
this distracts me from.
And I guess you can condense
job.
it down if you have to.
We can cut out some of the
Pokemon. Some of the stuff might be problematic.
I like that.
I don't know.
It's cute.
The church stuff.
It's cute. We did fine.
Okay.
Go Dom with your real questions.
No, it's good. Your questions have been great.
I mean,
great.
It's tangential.
Oh, I know. I've been doing this since before you were born, Dom.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fetus boy.
Fetus boy.
That's a good band name.
It is a good band name.
Wow.
I was just thinking Drop
Fetus
Bear
boy.
would be a good
Drop
band
Bear
name.
is also a good Fetus boy. Now touring with Drop Bear. Come and catch a show.
That's what we're going to work on later.
Fetus boy. Yeah.
Don and I are starting a band after this.
What genre would Fetus boy be?
I feel like Fetus Boy would have to be punk in some
I reckon like Death
element.
Gripsy kind of.
Yeah. Like it could be a little bit of like
a mess.
Right, like glitch hip hop or something.
Gosh, it could work on a lot of different levels.
Fetus Boy. It wouldn't be a folk band though.
No. You can't make it work for that.
Hey, I'm Fetus Boy. I'm gonna play some songs.
I think Drop Bear could definitely be folk.
Drop Bear could be folk. Drop Bear could be folk, or it could go really heavy. Like it could go either way, in my opinion.
The problem with Drop Bear though is if
heavy
you,
folk.
I mean, if you had Drop Bear, like I feel like it would, off the name itself, it would do really well overseas, but in Australia people would hate you.
It's
because
fine.
it'd be this real cliche, like
It'd
be like naming a band the Vegemites or something.
Yeah.
Or the Koalas.
The what?
A Vegemite. It's a yeast extract that we put on toast.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Do you not know about?
No.
Okay.
What is
You haven't watched enough TV apparently. So
You haven't watched enough anime. Every episode of anime ever.
The anime.
It's
I thought that
Have you had it before?
I've actually never had it, but I mean, it's always on TV. Anytime there's an Australian, that is their stereotype, in my opinion. Vegemite, yeah.
It's so good.
See, they say that like Americans are usually like, ew, not a fan of this. So.
Obama tried it. He came to Australia like 10 years ago, and he hated it.
Huh.
They were filming it.
So what is it?
Yeah, Vegemite.
It's a yeast extract. It's black, thick, and bitter.
And you put it on like your toast?
You put it on toast. But if you put it on toast, as a general rule of thumb, you should always have butter as the base.
Okay.
Then you let the butter melt, and then you put a nice kind of thick spread of the Vegemite on top.
Huh.
It's so good.
What does it look like?
I really miss it.
Like a paste?
Black.
You know what? Let me just pull up a photo.
Oh, come on,
it's
man. I want to know.
I can't describe it. It's like this black, thick goo.
I am a fan of koalas, though, for what it's worth.
Fascinating.
Koalas are disease-ridden.
Yeah, no, they're cruel animals.
You don't want to get bitten by a koala, or you'll get an STI.
It sort of looks like jam, but like black licorice.
Yeah, it's just
okay, so it looks like a jar of licorice that has just been
melted
congealed into this single licorice piece.
Yeah.
And it tastes better than licorice.
Oh, look, someone put avocado on top of it.
Oh, yeah, see, that's too far. Too much.
That's too much.
Just too
avocado
much.
toast.
I'll eat my yeast extract that's dark and black and bitter, but not avocados.
Avocado? That's
How
too
dare
much.
they? Got it.
I love avocados as much as anyone, but you don't combine yeast extract with avocado.
I feel like you don't
That
combine
sounds
yeast
like-
extract with so many things, but it's fine.
Butter.
You do you. No, we're fans of butter here in the South as well.
You like deep fried butter and butter.
Yeah. Deep
Isn't that a
fried.
thing?
No. You can find deep fried butter. Don't worry.
Where is that in the States? Is that a Valdosta special or is it?
Yeah, I think it would be like a carnival type of.
Right.
Yeah. So
Like
like if you ever go
carnivals, you
to a
can
carnival, everything is just deep fried. Like you can get a corn dog that is excessively long and just deep fried.
Fried Snickers, fried Oreos,
Yeah.
fried Coke is a thing.
Yeah.
How do you fry
bizarre.
Coke?
I don't
Have you had
get
that?
it either. I've never had it, but yeah, it exists.
Yeah. They also eat a lot of alligator at carnivals. So like fried alligator kebabs and.
Alligator's the bomb.
Yeah, no, alligator's actually pretty good.
Yeah, alligator jerky is also. But dang it!
Oh my god, get back to your music questions.
It all comes back to obscure food and Satan.
So, last night at the show, you mentioned a lot during your set, sugar daddies.
Yeah. I went on a bit too much about sugar.
Okay. It seems like it's a common theme in your music for some reason, at least with the songs you chose for last night.
Well, yeah. One of the songs I did, the song's called Rosie, and it's about, I went on a date with an Australian girl, a few dates, and this was in Tokyo, so this was this girl from Melbourne, and there was on I think the 5th date or something, we're in this really romantic sort of restaurant, and it had this terrace, like this rooftop terrace, and she was like, oh, can we go up there? Like, there's something I gotta tell you. And I really liked this girl, so I thought, oh, great, like, maybe we'll go out or something. So we go up to the top floor, and she's like, oh, there's a man on my mind, like someone I'm really into. So I was like, oh, great. She's like, he's Australian. So I'm like, right on. She's like, he's got 2 kids. He's 50. I'm like, why are you telling me this? And it just sort of divulged into this tale of like this unrequited love between her and this sugar daddy, who was like, I don't know, supposedly funding her like trips to Tokyo and stuff, as sugar daddies do. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of incensed me. I was like, what? What is this? Have I been catfished for a sugar daddy? It was just bizarre. Anyway, I was really annoyed for a night, and I wrote it. And it was meant to be like this, but it ends up sounding like this love song, like a genuine, sincere love song. Even though it was meant to be like a dig at them.
Yeah.
So after that, I just started paying a lot of attention to sugar daddies out in public. I really like seeing sugar daddies and sugar babies on dates, and sugar mamas and sugar babies.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting dynamic that they share. You know, they both want something from the other. It's almost like they've signed a strange contract or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I kind of
social contract, I suppose.
Yeah. And I kind of admire them because it does attract a lot of weird glances and, like, you know, if they're out at a restaurant or whatever. So I think it's kind of admirable in a way. Like, you know, if you really, and if it does turn into a lovey-dovey thing, then it's great. Should pursue it. I want to become a sugar daddy.
Yeah. I think you still have a few years, but, you know.
When does that start, though?
I don't know, because whenever I turned 30, someone was like, cougar status, and I was like, I'm not a cougar at 30. That's not fair.
Honestly, I think you can start whenever you start having money.
Maybe a lot of money first.
So if I was cashed up,
yeah,
and I like grew some grey hair, grey hair,
and you have to, you know, dip down to, like, what's the age bracket, like 21.
I guess I'd have to just shoot.
Right.
Yeah, 21. So, well, you want them to be able to have a drink with you, right? Like,
Exactly.
What's the drinking age?
You would. In Australia, it's 18.
Oh, well, all right. Never mind.
So
18.
maybe I am a sugar daddy in the mix. No, they're interesting. Lounge lizards I really like as well.
Yeah.
I think they're all sort of.
Oh no.
They're all under like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Of like, sort of. Yeah. Shamelessness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
but there's something admirable,
really.
Isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right. They're just doing their thing.
They're doing their thing, and like they're risking credibility.
Yeah.
When they do it.
Credibility of their entire existence.
Yeah.
It's like you get lumped into sugar daddy. Like the sugar daddy category. So.
Yeah. No, this is a poorer city. We don't really have that here. We just, you know, they're.
I was gonna ask if you have it now. Okay.
No. What's the joke? Splenda daddies. Yeah,
Splenda
like
daddies?
the
Do tell.
I don't know this
What
one
is a
either.
Splenda?
What?
Splenda, like the
This is
not
before your
actual,
time.
not like actual sugar. Like Splenda, the little
What's
packets
Splenda?
where like they're just
They're
poor.
off-brand.
Yeah, they're the
I see.
off-brand of a
Right,
sugar
right.
daddy.
What a
Right.
Splenda
Splenda.
daddy?
Not actually real sugar.
But what's
Yeah.
Splenda?
You
Oh,
know,
it's like
it's-
saccharin, like
Yes,
like
yeah.
fake.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
fake
yeah, like
sugar,
fake
yeah.
sugar.
oh
It's like a Splenda daddy.
saccharin daddy. That's a great name for a band as well.
We've really given you so many ideas here.
Splenda daddy and
Splenda daddy.
fetal boy.
Strawberry.
We're all gonna go on tour
Strawberry.
together later.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do all solo acts.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I want to be Drop Bear.
You're Drop
I'm
Bear.
dedicated to
Fetal
Drop
boy.
Bear.
Well, I feel like we've already established this.
Yeah.
And
We're
I'm
pretty-
Splenda daddy. The
Right.
poor man's sugar daddy.
Yeah, we're pretty set here. I do like that I've now learned how I can get to Tokyo if I ever want to.
Right.
Just you look up a sugar. I'm too old now. I'd have to find someone like in their 70s.
Cougar
Like,
status.
yeah.
Well, excuse me.
But you know that's a big thing there. There's a lot of sugar daddies. It's
Well.
huge in Tokyo or
Huh.
in Japan.
So I can just get on the internet and look this up. And,
Yeah, I mean you could. And they like blonde women.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Set.
Oh Lord.
Got
your
it.
life has now been.
This is how I'm getting a
decided.
Pokemon.
So
Pokemon
what about-
daddy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And please
Too much.
continue.
Antoine.
Yeah, yeah.
What's that situation about?
Oh yeah, so my sister had this guy she was really into,
Mm-hmm.
also an older gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
This is a theme in your life. All right.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And he was just a, can I swear? It's like a slight, he was a bad boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, you can swear, but we'd have to edit it out.
He was
I'd ask you not to.
No.
Yeah.
He just was very aloof and sort
Yeah.
of led her around. I don't think really that much happened, but I got 3 younger sisters, so I'm like the brother bear. And it was more amusing than anything. He was just a bit of a pleb. And yeah, so I wrote it as a joke for her, and she thought it was really funny. And so then I put it out after that.
Yeah. And that's that. So Antoine, that song. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Antoine, yeah.
That is one of your most like popular
Yeah, at the
singles.
moment.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the moment. Yeah. Just fascinating that sugar daddies seem to be.
Yeah.
So-
Well, that one, and that was really cool because we'll just talk about it, and then I wrote it that day, and then I showed it to her. She was, and we were kind of writing the lyrics together about him. So it was like a sort of collaborative
Oh,
effort.
little family bonding exercise.
Yeah.
Right.
Next one's gonna be with my parents, and then my grandma. So yeah,
Your grandma's sugar daddy.
my grandma's dating life is something else.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
if you want me to get into this, but
Is she a sugar mama?
my grandma. Sorry, grandma. She'll appreciate this. My grandma. She gets back on the horse quicker than anyone I've ever met. So she's had a very rough 10 years. She got cancer at the start of this year.
Oh no.
And I was living with her for a bit this year. She's alright now. She's like in
That's
remission.
good,
But then she like lost 2 husbands and has been sort of,
Is that why you say she gets back on the horse really quickly?
yeah.
No.
She's great. She doesn't waste time. So she's a dating expert on websites, and she gives me tips.
She gives you tips.
Well, she likes to think they're tips. They're awful tidbits of advice.
How
but
old is your grandma?
78.
Okay, yeah, I needed that for the
Whoa.
context. Like, I didn't know.
She's 30.
Fun.
So no.
These are the goals. These are what
She's
you want your
great. I actually
grandchildren
kind
to
of.
say.
Oh, I really admire that. Yeah, she mourns for a bit and then she
Yeah.
moves on to other guys. She's a little too descriptive
Huh, okay.
regarding her dates.
Yes.
She's told me stuff at lunch, and
Yeah.
While my dad's been there,
Yeah.
his mum.
Yeah.
And we'll often ask her to stop talking about it. But
Nice.
anyway, she's...
That's all.
Shout out to Grant.
Yeah. Graham.
Shout out. What else you got? You
No,
had the real
that's pretty much-
questions.
You wanna
I'm
leave it?
sorry.
No,
That's why
I don't wanna
that
leave it
was
on
the
this
last thing that I
bombshell.
wanted. Right, no, I do think maybe we should talk. But,
So you're going back to Australia
Yeah,
once
for
you're
a bit.
done.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
what
done.
what are
I'm
you
done with
doing in Australia aside from taking
Catch and
baths
drop bears and
Yeah.
riding sharks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna relax for a bit, and then I'm gonna start working. I'm doing some interviews and stuff, so either London or Tokyo, I think. But next year I wanna, whenever I have holidays, come back and tour. You know.
Yeah.
Couple of, like 3 weeks or whatever, 2 or 3 weeks, and then yeah.
we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I'd love to come
please
back.
come back to
Yeah,
Valdosta.
that's cool.
You know, we'll find a place for you to.
Well, that place last night was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, I don't know, if I did 1 or 2 shows or something, it'd be great.
If we're still
Well, that was ominous. What's that?
here. If we're still
If
here.
you're
Every day.
still running with Satan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
When you're running with Satan every day,
Yeah.
you're your last.
Yeah.
It's very
exactly.
true.
That's poetry right there.
Poetry. It's a song lyric. No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
It's a mantra.
Yeah.
God, Lord.
That's where we're
And
at.
before
Yeah.
it gets
That's
too
where
weird.
that's where we
I like
were.
the oh Lord. That's,
Yeah.
it's appropriate. Okay.
Well, Andy, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
in
thanks. It's fun.
Getting
been
awkward and weird.
Yeah.
Discussing the
with us.
stuff that matters.
That's
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
We've
Gosh.
covered a large array of topics.
We've gotten a very good idea of who you are as a person.
A sugar daddy in the making.
Yeah. Very, very glad
Sorry,
we got to do
a
this.
splendid daddy in the
Splendid
making.
daddy in the making, yeah. I mean, you hope to get to sugar daddy status.
Dare to dream.
Yeah.
Candy tree. That's right. You got to start somewhere, though.
Yeah, I mean, you do. Cool.
Alrighty, so that has been Off the Record, On the Record with Andy Burns. So,
All right. See you around.
see you around. Is there any last comments or anything you wanted to say? Sorry.
No.
Okay. Well, your
feel like
music
I've-
and stuff is on Spotify and SoundCloud and Bandcamp, right?
Yep. The best thing would be to follow me on Spotify, I reckon, and Facebook as well. And I put up all my tour dates and whatnot.
Yeah.
My Instagram's a little too weird, so
You're about to play a show in St. Pete, which
Yeah.
not too far from here, so I don't know if somebody might hear it.
Yeah.
And then you're putting out that documentary at some point. So.
yeah. I'm gonna
Maybe.
try and figure out the legalities of it, and then it's coming out.
Cool.
I might be in prison the next
Yeah.
time we do it.
Oh, that'll be a fun interview.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
I think that would be good
interview,
PR.
too.
Yeah.
Live from the cell.
Yeah.
Andy Burns.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Alrighty. So
Alright.
Yeah.
that's been us.
It's been something.
Cool.